Welcome to this edition of Canton Contact. I'm your host, Peg Stevens. My first guest today is here to give us an update on what's happening over at the Summit on the Parks Aquatic Center. Here with all the exciting details is aquatic specialist Daniel Sullivan. Daniel, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me, Peg.
I understand that you will be hosting a very fun race coming soon. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we have our cardboard boat race, which is returning from our previous years, this August 12th, actually. This event is where we have people create boats out of just cardboard and duct tape, and they bring them to the pool, and we open up the pool for people to race them in different heats. So people can be creative with it and add water-safe paints to them and just have fun trying to race their little boats that they create.
It sounds awesome. So if I'm understanding correctly, it's made out of cardboard.
Correct. All 100% cardboard and duct tape, only the materials that you're allowed to use.
Okay. And then to decorate it, you said water-safe paint?
Yep, water-safe paint can be used. Otherwise, just colored duct tape is another good option.
Oh, fabulous. And how does the race take place?
So we'll have 5 or 6 boats in the pool at a time, and we'll start the race, and whoever makes it across the pool the fastest wins that section of the race. And then there's multiple heats for each race if there's enough people for it. So we'll run multiple heats, and then the winners can race each other at the end to determine the overall winner of the event.
Oh, excellent. And then in terms of teams, how do folks go about putting one together?
So a team can be of however many people you want, but you will have one designated racer who actually races the boats, which will provide oars for and life jackets for safety.
Oh, fabulous. And then I understand that you have some very special awards that you'll hand out.
Yep, we give out multiple awards for the night for whoever sinks the most creatively, whoever has the most creatively constructed boat, and the fastest boat.
Excellent. Now, is there a fee to register?
There is a fee, and all that information can be found online at summitonthepark.org.
Oh, wonderful. And then if folks want to sign up for the race, how do they go about doing that?
Registration can be done online at that website, or they can do it at the front desk over the phone or in person here at the Summit.
Wonderful. And then I know you've hosted these in the past. Mm-hmm. How much fun is it?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. It's fun for both guests and my staff. We love doing this event every year.
I bet. So do you cap it at a certain number? So should folks be sure to register as soon as possible?
I would suggest registering as soon as possible. We do cap the number at about 20 or 25 boats. So register soon so we can be part of this fun event.
Excellent. And that date again, when it's taking place and where they should go to register?
Yep, August 12th is the date for the race, and they should register at www.summitonthepark.org.
Excellent. Now switching gears a little bit, I understand that your swim lessons remain very popular. When is your next session taking place?
So our next session, we have our Summer 1 and Summer 2 sessions. Summer 2 starts July 24th. That session's already pretty full for registration, so if people are looking to register, they'll probably be looking towards our fall sessions. The registration for our fall sessions opens up on August 23rd for Canton residents at 10 a.m. online. For everyone else, online and in person for non-residents, it is August 30th at 10 a.m.
Oh, good to know. Now, for folks who are currently in the program, they just kind of continue on. Is that correct?
They still do have to register just like everyone else. There's just very limited spots right now, so we kind of open it up for everyone every single time.
Gotcha. And if someone was thinking about bringing their children for the first time, how do they go about getting started?
I do recommend, if they don't know what level to sign up for, that they call the Aquatic Center office and schedule a swim level assessment. Just real quick, it's a 5-minute test. We run them through a few little skills to see where they're at, and then we'll suggest a level for you to sign up for. And we do recommend that you do that before the registration starts so that you can plan ahead.
Oh, wonderful. And I know your swim instructors are very talented and they do a fabulous job. What sort of curriculum do they present?
So we offer classes for parent-child classes, for younger kids, preschool classes, youth classes. We kind of go through progression of beginning at preschool 1 through 3, youth 1 through 5, and just kind of start off with very simple skills and build them up to a near swim team level swimmer through in our youth level 5. We do also offer teen adult classes for those who are maybe older and don't have a lot of water experience, who are interested in getting that experience. Those classes are very much geared towards whatever you are interested in learning. And we also have our private lessons who are for ages 3 and up, and that's just whatever you're interested in learning, we will do our best to teach you that.
Oh, wonderful. And why do you think it's important for folks to learn how to swim?
Well, especially being in Michigan surrounded by water, there's just so many opportunities to have fun in and around pools and lakes that you want to be able to do it safely. And so we always recommend everyone learn how to swim, and I think this is a great opportunity to do so.
Oh, fabulous. Now, if folks want to register or get more information, how do they go about doing that?
They can go on our website at summitonthepark.org, or they can contact us here at the Summit.
Excellent. Now, switching gears a little bit, but keeping along those swim lessons, I understand that you're still looking for lifeguards. Is that correct?
We are, yes. We are still hiring. We're still offering classes. We do have a class that is actually coming up this weekend here, but the registration has already ended. We will be offering offering some classes in September and probably December as well. So if people are interested in getting a job with us, they can look towards those classes to get certified, and they can apply on the website, and they can also register for the classes on the website as well.
Oh, fabulous. Now, who is a good candidate to become a lifeguard?
We're really looking for anyone, high school students, college students, people who are out of school, who are just looking for a fun job, mornings, evenings, middays, weekends, anyone who is willing to be interested in lifeguarding and is willing to learn, we are looking to hire them.
And what is the training process to become a lifeguard?
So our lifeguard classes run through Jeff Ellison Associates, which is a lifeguard certification program. Our class is a 4-day class. It's about 24 total hours over those 4 days. We teach you CPR, first aid, AED usage, water rescues, spinal rescues, all of the sort of different skills that you would use in lifeguarding situations. But these are not just skills that are for lifeguards, they're skills that are lifelong skills that you could use outside of lifeguarding as well.
Oh, I can imagine. Now, are all of the sessions in the water?
Yeah, so we have 1 day that is only land, but the other 3 days are entirely or a mix between water and land.
And then at the end, do they take a final exam?
Yep, we do test them. There's a written test, there's a CPR test, and there's the water test. So we get tested on all the different skills that you learn, but we make sure you're well prepared for those tests before you take them.
Now, I understand that Jeffrey Ellis is recognized in the aquatics industry.
They certify tons of water parks, private, public, whatever you can find, all throughout the United States and outside the United States. They're a very large program.
Oh, fabulous. Now, if folks want to get involved in that, what's the first step?
Just looking into lifeguarding is just first getting certified. Like I said, we offer those courses here. There's some other courses in the area, but we're kind of the main one that offers those courses in the area. And we do offer shallow water certifications, and there are different levels of certification, but we are a shallow water facility. So if you're interested in becoming a lifeguard, we recommend just starting with the course.
Oh, fabulous. So again, I would imagine on your website you have some information
Yep,
about that?
summitonthepark.org can be found. You can get all of our lifeguard class information and the application for the job.
Excellent. And so I take it that you'll be hiring them continuously.
Pretty much, yeah. We're still definitely looking for people, and we constantly have people who are going off to school or leaving or coming. So we are keeping the job open for people to apply for.
Oh, good to know. Now I understand that you have some new offerings for open swim times. What can you tell us about that?
Yep. With the summer, we are able to offer some extra open swim times that are not just during the evenings or weekends, but we have some in the middle of the day. And we do also have our camps that come in the middle of the day, so there's a great day where we don't have camps, but it's a midday open swim. It is on Thursdays from 12:30 to 3:30. So if you're looking to avoid kind of larger crowds, we do recommend coming in that day. But Monday through Friday, 12:30 to 3:30 is just also available if you're willing to deal with some of the crowds.
Oh, wonderful. And for parents who bring their kids, do the parents need to get in the water, or can they just observe?
Yeah, children 11 and under do require a parent in the water with them at all times, unless they're able to pass our swim test. So if you are looking to come, make sure you're prepared to be in the water as well.
Excellent. Lots of good information, Daniel. We are almost out of time, so if you wouldn't mind telling folks where they can get more information about the boat race and your swim lessons and all of the open swim opportunities.
Yep, all of our information about the Aquatic Center here at the Summit on the Park can be found at summitonthepark.org.
Daniel, thank you so much for stopping by and giving us this wonderful update about what's happening at the Summit on the Park's Aquatic Center.
Thank you, Peg.
We will be right back with more Canton Contact.
Canton Public Safety will be hosting their annual National Night Out on August 4th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. in Heritage Park. National Night Out is an annual community building campaign that is held across the country to promote police-community partnerships and neighborhood camaraderie. This year's event will coincide with the Thursday evening concert in the park. The police and fire departments will have a Touch a Truck display, canine meet and greet, and much more. For more information regarding this event, visit cantonfun.org.
This summer, we are going to be inviting kids from all over Canton and surrounding areas to come join us as we put together an intensive. I picked Footloose, the youth edition, instead of the full-length edition because it was a little bit shorter, and we have a shortened time span. Instead of having a few months as a rehearsal process, we have 3 weeks. We want it to look good, we want to have the dances down, the singing perfect, and that gives us enough time to have a really solid production in that time. And the reason we chose Footloose is because it is a super fun, upbeat, uplifting, summer fun kind of musical. This is one that everyone's going to walk out singing and dancing, and we love that. The team that we have assembled to come in and direct is amazing. Everyone is really fun. We have an actor coming in from New York who is a Broadway actor who's going to be joining us to kind of lend his expertise. If this is the first theater you've ever done, we're happy to have you, and we think that this would be a really fun way to introduce you to theater. It'll be fast, but it'll be super fun. The group that we have will make you feel like you're part of a family. Overall, it'll be a really fantastic experience for kids coming in.
Experience the dynamic performances of the Michigan Shakespeare Festival's Renaissance season when it returns for its entire run at Canton's Village Theater, July 19th through August 21st. The official Shakespeare Festival of Michigan's 2022 season includes the heroic and epic drama Henry V, the engaging comedy The Merry Wives of Windsor, and the side-splitting farce Charlie's Aunt by Brandon Thomas. Tickets are on sale now. Get yours today online at cantonvillagetheater.org or call 734-394-5300. Don't miss a moment.
Welcome back to Canton Contact. My next guest is here to give us an update on the Michigan Shakespeare Festival's exclusive engagement at the Village Theater at Cherry Hill. Here with all the exciting details is Michigan Shakespeare Festival producing artistic director Janice L. Blix. Janice, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. We've been dark for 2 years. I haven't seen you in 2 years.
I know.
It's really nice to be here.
It's great to have you back.
Thank you.
Now, before we get to the exciting lineup of this season, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about the history of the Michigan Shakespeare Festival?
Well, the festival started in 1995 as basically a class. It was a bunch of college students had taken a class in Shakespeare and they just loved it, and they ended up putting up A Midsummer Night's Dream in the park that year, and it was lovely. There are pictures on our website if you want to see back in the early days. And at that time, the people in Jackson, Michigan decided, hey, this is fun, let's do this every year. And they built a Globe Theater out there, and it was really quite lovely. In 2003, they ran into trouble because most of the season got rained out. And that's gonna basically kill your budget and kill everything else. So that's when it moved inside in 2004. That was also the year we became the official Shakespeare Festival of the state of Michigan. In our office, we have the big plaque signed by everyone in the legislature. It's very nice. We've been growing ever since. I took over the reins from John Neville Andrews in 2010, and in that year, we also started a high school tour that has also been dark for 2 years, but it's coming back this year. So if you're a high school English teacher and want to bring Mac or Romeo and Juliet into your school, we can do that. So we started building it, and we started building more shows, and now we are going into our 27th season. We are organized with Equity, which is the actors union, under what is called a LORT, a League of Regional Theaters contract. So everyone's professional, everyone's paid, it's a living wage situation. And this year, for the first time ever, we are all 5 weeks in Canton. And it's kind of a delight.
How exciting is that?
Yeah.
Canton is so lucky to have you.
We are lucky to have Canton. The people at the Village Theater have been wonderfully connected to us. They've been incredibly helpful. And being that, you know, after 2 years, our infrastructure was a little rocky and we weren't able to use our old theater in Jackson. They had structural problems and they're fixing that, hopefully. But it put us in Canton all year, and everybody at the Village has been supportive and wonderful, and we're lucky to have Canton.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
Now, how long does the festival run?
We will open for previews on the 19th. So next week, today, we start for previews, and it runs until August 21st. We have 3 shows that run in rep, and when all shows are open as of next week, If you come for a weekend, because we get a lot of people coming in from other places, you can see all 3 shows in any weekend. We make sure that they run in reps so you can see them all.
Oh, very thoughtful.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about opening night. So what is the performance that people can expect to see?
Henry V. We always have one big flagship show that everyone knows is Shakespeare. I mean, it's been King Lear and Hamlet and Romeo and Juliet, you know, the big nuns. And this year it's Henry V. And it's a huge, we're doing it, a big epic production. It is starring Sam Hubbard, who is an Ann Arbor native, and he has gone on to film and TV and other things, and we've pulled him back for the summer to do this.
Very talented individual.
He's very talented. And if you've seen posters all over, you realize he's also very cute. But he is helming the show, and he is quite terrific. But it's a big, we've been referring to it as medieval, but kind of like HBO does it, so everyone is still attractive. It's kind of the running joke that we've got, because we didn't want little bowl haircuts, and we didn't want all the little things that to a modern eye look silly, but we're still doing 14-15 Agincourt, the entire battle. So that is our flagship show. That's the big one, and that will be opening night. Will be the 22nd of July, so next week. And we're really excited because we're in Canton this year. We're able to throw an outdoor party afterwards because we're surrounded by that wonderful little park and the opening of our theater space. We can do it outside, so we don't have to wear masks.
Oh, wonderful.
Exactly. We're going to have, you know, a beer and wine party out in the greens, and it's just going to be lovely. And we're really excited because we haven't been able to do that before.
I bet.
Yeah. So that's opening night. And then the next night, our second show opens, and that is The Merry Wives of Windsor. Our second show is always a Shakespeare show that is produced a little bit less often. Some people might not know it as well. And we chose to do it. We were making jokes about how it is literally the original spin-off. This was one of the only plays that Shakespeare was told to write. Queen Elizabeth had seen Henry IV, which is the precursor to Henry V, and the character of Falstaff is in it, and it has all these wacky hijinks. And Shakespeare was literally told, I want to see a play about Falstaff falling in love.
Fascinating.
And so it is, I mean, we've been making jokes about how it's a spin-off, you know, because you got Cheers, but then you end up with Frasier. You know, we had Henry IV, now we've got the Falstaff show, which is Merry Wives of Windsor. And so we're doing it in kind of a fun, silly 80s sitcom look. And it's working, it's hilarious and delightful. And we brought Joe Faust in for this. He is a very well-known actor in regional theater all around the country, and he's coming in and playing Falstaff.
How exciting.
Yes, we're very excited. So it's a silly, funny, goofy show, and it's about Falstaff, and Shakespeare played with it. It was about Falstaff falling in love. That doesn't mean the other people fall in love with him.
Ah.
Yeah, so there's a little twist in there that's a lot of fun. So that's our second show, and then the next week our third show opens.
And what is that one?
That is Brandon Thomas's Charlie's Aunt. Okay, so our third show is always a classical show that isn't Shakespeare. So in the past we've done Oscar Wilde and we've done Goldsmith and we've done, you know, the big classics. We wanted something fun.
Ah.
So it is a silly romantic comedy set in 1892, and we're setting it at that time. And our young lovers want to get together with the ladies of their dreams, but because they don't have a chaperone, it becomes a problem, and the girls aren't going to come to lunch. And so wackiness ensues, absolute craziness. I will tell you, this is the show that got Tom Hanks bosom buddies. This was one of these things that made him a star. It is a pretty well-known show. And also, historically, I find this amazing, comedies at this time period, in the 1890s, were a little more sentimental. You didn't laugh as much. As long as everybody was okay at the end, it was a comedy and everyone went home happy. Well, Brandon Thomas writes this show, and it's hilarious, and audiences love it. And it has the longest run of any show at that time, 1,700 performances in London.
That's impressive.
Right, I mean, it was Cats. It was like the biggest thing of its time. And you would think it would start like a trend, and no, everyone went right back to sentimental, to the not really funny stuff. So it's this weird anomaly in theater history of this goofy, funny, summer, happy show. And that's what we're putting up this year. And that's another one that's just lovely. We have a lot of returning company members that audiences will recognize if they've seen our shows in the past. And all of our actors are in all 3 shows. So we have a tight company of 16. And so if you see multiple productions, you're gonna see people doing very different things on different nights. So for instance, Henry V, Sam, who's playing Henry V, is Dr. Caius, the sort of smarmy suitor in Merry Wives. And it's a very different, it's a small role, it's comic, he has to trip over a lot of things. I mean, it's a very different kind of role. So that's something that I think we bring and people tend to like.
And what a great opportunity to see, you know, someone fine-tune their craft and play these varying roles.
Right, across the spectrum, right.
Oh, now I understand that you are directing Henry V.
I am directing Henry V and Charlie's Aunt. I usually end up with 2 shows. The other show, Merry Wives, is being directed by Robert Kozlerick, who directs for us often. I consider him my partner in crime when it comes to these things. The last show, he has directed The Tempest for us, and As You Like It, and Cymbeline, and a whole bunch of favorite shows. So yeah, we've got our old hats at the helm.
Oh, fabulous. Now, have you adapted any of these?
Well, had to do some adaptation with Charlie's Aunt just to try and, it's very British vernacular, 1892, so some of the jokes just wouldn't land because it just didn't make sense. So I had to do a lot of adapting on that. And then Henry V, anytime you're doing a Shakespeare, you gotta do some stuff with it, because this show, uncut with nothing, would probably be 3.5 to 4 hours. And our production is a little over 2.5 with intermission, so it's not, you know, a killer long thing, but had to do some adaptations. A lot of it was cutting out historical references that an Elizabethan audience would have gotten, but we wouldn't. And they don't help the play. So there's a lot of that kind of work that goes into doing a Shakespeare, a lot of editing. And then there are people who are like, you should never edit Shakespeare. It's like, really? You want to sit through 5 hours of Hamlet? Okay.
I think not. Most people would be a little too much.
So
even the diehard fans.
I don't think that there are any productions that go up in the United States now, except maybe for some of the short comedies. But the bigger, the more epic, the giant shows, it's not what we do in terms of theater, what modern audiences do. So we try and figure out what made the play great, why people love it, why 400 years later it's still being done, and then also take into account a modern audience, a modern sensibility. That's one of the things we're doing right now with Henry V, is that most Shakespeare plays kind of this happens, then this happens, and this happens, you get a big build, and then Henry doesn't really have that. It's more like each of the 5 acts has its own like importance, its own thrust. So when I was looking at it during COVID, during pandemic, we were all binging shows, you know, and I just remember looking at the script, and you have this chorus that comes out at the beginning of every act, and I thought, God, that's what this feels like. This doesn't feel like one movie. It feels like a 5-part BBC series. And what I would absolutely love is for the audience to have that feeling after each act of, yeah, I can watch another. Yeah, I can watch another, because that's what we all did.
Absolutely.
And that's really what it kind of feels like right now for us.
Oh, but live and in person.
But live and in person, and really a lot of fun.
Oh, now all of these shows sound fantastic. So where can folks get tickets?
Well, the first place you can go to if you want more information, you want some pictures, you want things like that, is you can go to MichiganShakespeareFestival.com. That will have links to everything. But if you want to just ignore all of that, you can go to villagetheater.org. Canton Village Theater. Sorry, CantonVillageTheater.org, and their box office is doing sales. They're also available by phone. If you look on the website, they'll have that. Because it's summer hours in the box office, feel free to call, leave a message. They will get back to you. They are the best. Jennifer is the best. And that'll work. But if you just want to, you know, check out what's going on, check out the company, check out bios, who's doing what. For instance, our costume designers this year are just amazing. They're all historic costume, amazing people. So, I mean, you can see their bios and what they've done and the books they've written and all of that. And you can go to MichiganShakespeareFestival.com, and we try and give you all that information.
Oh, well, Janice, we are almost out of time, but if you wouldn't mind telling folks why they should come and check out one of your productions this summer.
Honestly, I feel like a huge part of my job is battling the people who say, I had to read Romeo and Juliet in 9th grade, and it was a miserable experience, and I hate Shakespeare. And I have to say, you're right, I get it. Shakespeare was not meant to be read. And that is not a slam on English teachers, who I love, or a slam on college classes, which are great, but it was meant to be played. It was meant to be interpreted through an actor so that everything has subtext and everything is interesting and you see relationships and you understand how these people connect. It is meant to be seen on stage. And so if you're thinking, wow, the language is too hard, I don't understand this, please come and check it out, because I guarantee you will not walk out feeling that way. I mean, Henry V is about honor and leadership and loyalty and going to war and having a connection to your people and your kingdom. I mean, all of the big, the giant emotions and themes and connections. It's not about ridiculously hard language or a level of poetry that is offsetting. It's about people.
What a wonderful way to experience it live right here in Canton. So if folks want more information, where can they find out more about the Michigan Shakespeare Festival?
Well, MichiganShakespeareFestival.com is, of course, your first place to go. And you'll know you went to the right place because, again, there'll be a big picture of Sam in the front. And then after that, if you check out CantonVillageTheater.org, that is also going to give you a lot of information because they are our hosts, our partner, and our very good friends for helping us make this all happen.
Well, Janice, we are out of time, but thank you so much for stopping by and telling us about this wonderful opportunity to see classical theater right here at the Village Theater at Cherry Hill.
Thank you so much for having me. We've been dark for 2 years, and we're so excited to be back. Thank you.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time on Canton Contact.